My name is Sean Thomas, and I'm the author of Be More Today, a 40-day guide to a better version of you. As Doctor of Physical Therapy, I've seen thousands of people do great things. They came to me with ailments, physical ailments, pain, issues, and they got through them, all because they decided in their mind they were going to do it. And I guarantee you, if you just trust the process and be persistent, you too can be the best version of you. Have you ever been out and about with nowhere to stash your keys and ID so you can be hands-free? Whether you're running errands, traveling, or hitting the trail, Spy Belt is the belt that goes where you go. Made with stretchable fabric and a low-profile design, Spy Belt is your perfect companion to keep your essentials secure without bouncing or chafing. Choose from several prints and colors in the original, a wider band in the Pro versions, or the newest Spy Belt, Whiteout, an all-white belt that is perfect for summer. Visit www.spybelt.com to get your Spy Belt today. Run smart, run free, run with Spy Belt. Don't let aches and pains hold you back from living your life. At JAG Physical Therapy, our experienced clinicians create a personalized treatment plan that fit each and every patient's needs uniquely. Whether it's recovering from an injury or enhancing your performance, we've got you covered. With over 150 locations throughout New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania, there is sure to be a JAG Physical Therapy location near you. Visit jagpt.com and book an appointment today to get back the life you love. That's jagpt.com, jagpt.com.
Welcome to the Be More Today show. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our show today. Now, let's hear it from our host, Dr. Sean Thomas.
What's going on, folks? It's your boy again, Dr. Sean Thomas, back in the building with the Be More Today show. We are back in the building, folks, and we are here officially in the fall season. Happy to be in the month of October, celebrating a lot of things this month, but Breast Cancer Awareness Month is one of them. Before I get into that, Be More Today, is a movement. We've been doing some great things this year with our two books, Project More and the Be More Today book. Continue to be out there on multiple platforms, so go out there and subscribe to our show and our site, BeMoreToday.com, for all things related to what you want to do to be more alive and thrive in 2025. Our sponsors continue to be great this year with Spy Belt, the best running belt out there in the business. Now getting ready for the NYC Marathon and all marathons happening in the fall. So go out there and check out your Spy Belt belts ASAP. And of course, JAG Physical Therapy, the best PT clinic, best PT company in the Northeast, over 167 offices. We are doing great things and super excited to be a part of an excellent team. And our monthly patrons, thank you so much for supporting us. Those who listen to the show, now heard in 97 countries, over 76,000 downloads. Again, your love and support makes this show great and makes us more every single day. I am doing the Boston Marathon in April of next year, April 27th to be exact, 2026. So I will continue to put out there good content for a program called Stride for Stride. Stride for Stride, again, is a nonprofit running organization that buys race bibs for immigrant, BIPOC, and low-income runners. And the goal is to make races more accessible for them all across the world. They are doing a number of things with over 430 runners, over 27 countries. And there's also a mental health component to Stride for Stride. Everyone who runs with our team, of which I am also one of them, gets free mental health therapy for the time that they're a part of the team. So I'm excited to be a part of this movement. We're trying to raise $9,500. That's right, $9,500 by April 27th. So if you want to donate to the Boston Marathon journey with me, Stride for Stride, check out the link in the show and be a part of the movement. Our quote for today is simple as always. It's about focusing on the fight and not the fright. It's about focusing on the fight and not the fright, by Robin Roberts. This has been a year, folks, where we've highlighted a number of people who've been doing amazing things in the world of health and fitness. And I am a doctor of physical therapy, as you guys know, and blessed to be a part of a company that encourages people to get back to the life that they love. Our goal as PTs, as PARs, which are our front office representatives, our patient access representatives, and aides, is to make sure that people feel empowered to get past all the things that they're going through, whether they're physical ailments, surgeries, arthritis, all things that come with getting older, and fall risks and balance problems and surgeries, all these different things. there's a fright that comes with that. But our job as this team at JAG is to make sure that we focus on the fight and get people back to the life that they love. And our team is amazing for a number of reasons. But one of the things that really is amazing about our team is that everyone has a story. And as we're focusing on this month for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, as you see, I'm rocking my pink, we have a number of people who have dedicated their lives not just to working on the physical ailments of our patients, but also the things that they are fighting with behind the scenes. And I have three special guests on the show today who are all members and employees of, again, JAG Physical Therapy, the company I've been with for the last 12 years, and the company that I know you know is the best PT place that's out in the business. So we have three special guests on the show today. I want to introduce them to you in this order, and I hope that you want to welcome them the same way I'm welcoming them now to be on today's show. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, pets included, please welcome to the stage our three guests. We have Patricia, we have Jabarri, and we have Jessica. Folks, what is going on? Happy to have you on the show today. Let's start with Patricia first. Patricia, how are you? And just talk to the listeners about who you are, what you do at JAG, and anything else you want to say to give them greetings.
Yeah, so thank you for having me on your show. I really appreciate that. You could call me Trisha. Please call me Trisha. So I'm a patient access rep at the Smithtown, New York JAG Physical Therapy. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Let's go to my guy, Jabarri. Jabarri, what's going on?
Good morning, Sean. I'm a physical therapist, but I started with the company in 2018 as a physical therapy aide. So I've been around for 7 years. I transitioned from physical therapy aide to physical therapist in 2023. And yeah, been with JAG strong ever since. I work at
Yes.
the RC office location in Brooklyn.
Awesome. And Javari, you and I have history because you were in my office for a little bit, and I really appreciate our time we had together. And it's great seeing the growth that you've been showcasing with the company and the initiatives you've been actually really trying to pull for us to be more included in the community. So I appreciate you, sir. You've been doing some great work. Great work. And yes, Trisha, I will call you Trisha, not Patricia. We'll
Thank
get
you.
that right. And last but not least, we have someone who I also used to work with in my office in Georgetown, Jess. Jess, what's going on?
Hi, I'm Jessica. I'm the office manager now at the Marine Park location on Avenue U. Sean, I'm honored to be on the show here with you. I had the time of my life working at GT with you guys and the old crew, and I hope you get to see what we're doing on this side through our community work.
Awesome. Again, Jess, appreciate you on the show. Had a great time working with you at the Georgetown office and happy to see the growth you've been doing also in the company as well. So, folks, let's just get into it. Trisha, I want to start with you first. And I was told by our guy, and I could give him a shout out, Craig Menenzies, my guy, put us in contact with each other because he said he has someone who can share a story. And I know that you are a cancer survivor. And in the spirit of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I wanted to know, could you just share, if you don't mind, the kind of cancer that you did have and when you were diagnosed?
Yeah, so I had breast cancer. I was diagnosed February of 2022. I had gone for my mammography, and my doctor saw something suspicious on the test result. So he wanted me to go for a biopsy. So I went for a biopsy, and they told me I would get the test results in about a week or so. So a week later, driving home with my daughter in the car, and my phone rings, and I answer it because I see it's my doctor's office, and she's like, "Hi, this is so-and-so from Dr. Pachaca's office. We have your results from your biopsy." I'm like, "Okay." And she tells me, "You have breast cancer." And I was like, "What?" I'm like, "No." And I kind of just zoned out everything she was saying because I think I was just in shock. And I just kept saying, "No, I that can't be right." And then anyway, she told me I need to follow up with my doctor. And then my daughter had said to me, "Mommy, do you want me to drive? Are you okay?" And I'm like, I just have to figure out what's going on. And then so we went home and I told my family. I told my family and my friends, and of course we were all like dumbfounded. We didn't expect that news. So then I went back to my doctor, and he had told me that I had a rare type of breast cancer, which I didn't even know there were different types of breast cancer. I thought there was only one type, but now I'm learning there's all different subtypes. And I was with my husband, and then my eyes start to tear up, and he's like, just because it's rare does not mean it's not treatable. So I'm like, okay. And he's like, if you're going to beat this, you have to remember it's 90% attitude and 10% medicine. So I'm like, okay. So then the next thing was that I had to find a breast surgeon. So I find a breast surgeon, Dr. An, who I absolutely love. I love her. So I went to her. She looked over all the reports, the biopsy and the mammography, and then she wanted to run some more tests. She ran some more like MRIs, CAT scans, and then I think I had 2 more biopsies because she saw some spots that could have been suspicious. So everything was coming back fine. And then she's like, oh, it looks like it's early. You're just going to need a lumpectomy. We'll just take it out. And then something told me, no, I want a double mastectomy. And then she's like, why would you want to put your body through that? Because a double mastectomy entails more. Once you take out all the breast tissue, you have to get expanders put in, and then you have all these drains from you, and then you have to get a plastic surgeon. And my gut was telling me, get the double mastectomy. And then I said to her, do you mind if I get a second opinion? And she's like, no, go ahead. So then I went to Sloan Kettering over in Comac, and I was speaking to a breast surgeon there, and she told me the same thing. It looks early. We could just do a lumpectomy, and that would be the end of it. You won't need chemo or radiation. So I was like, okay. And then I decided to go back to my first surgeon, Dr. An, and have her do the surgery. So we schedule the double mastectomy, and then I wake up from the surgery, and my husband is by my side, and I wake up and I say to him, I'm like, hey, and he's like, hey. I'm like, how did everything go? How did I do? And he looked sad. He looked like he was upset and that he'd been crying. And I'm like, what's the matter? I'm like, she took out the cancer. And he's like, Dr. An's going to come over and talk to us. So she came over and she spoke to us, and she said that there was a lot of cancer, that it was in 15 lymph nodes, it was in my chest wall, it was hidden in my breast tissue, and it started to go into my right breast. So the reason why my type of cancer was not being picked up on the scans was because it's called lobular cancer, and it doesn't form like a solid mass. It's more like stringy, so it's hard to detect on the scans. So then that was when she told me that I was going to need chemo and radiation, and I just didn't expect to hear all that going into it. And then I just went down a dark path. I was depressed. I was in shock. I was angry. How can this happen to me? How am I gonna go through all this? But then I finally came to my senses. I became more spiritual than I had been previously, because previously to being sick, I had practiced yoga, I had done meditation, and I was just very spiritual. So I believe that's what helped me get through the chemo and the radiation and all that stuff. Yeah.
You are a soldier, you're a fighter, and I thank you for sharing that. It's wild how crazy cancer is, right? I mean, this thing, we do all these different tests, and men get cancer too, right? But we do a lot of different tests to assess what cancer should be like, especially in breast tissue. And even when doing those things, cancer like this is undetectable because it's different. It's rare. So the fact that you and your husband got through this and you fought through this, it's a testament to your strength. It's a testament to, like you said, your spirituality and your belief that you were going to get through it. And I'm happy to hear that you fought this thing, you beat this thing, right? Something that many people don't beat, right? The number of people who do die from cancer is still high, and cancer can be anywhere. but you were one of the ones who fought this. So I just want to say thank you for sharing that. We really, really appreciate that. And, I want to ask you now that you've come out of that tunnel, right? Or that forest that was dark, and you're now seeing so many people who are supporting breast cancer awareness and doing things like walks and fundraisers and such. Why is it so important for you think, for others to know about your story and how they can also make sure they're being aware that this could be them too? Why is it so important for you to share this story with others?
Well, I feel like in my case, like I was adamant about having the double mastectomy. So I feel like you always have to advocate for yourself. Like both my surgeons were saying just to have the lumpectomy, but my gut was telling me to have the double mastectomy. So always go with what you're feeling, because it's your body and you get to choose what you want to do as far as your treatment plan goes.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's just very important for women to know that anybody can get breast cancer. It doesn't discriminate. Like I don't even have it in my family, so It just came out of nowhere, and we were all shocked with it.
Right.
And it's just important to know that there is even like it affects you. Your mental health. There's a lot of support. Like I had gotten my treatment done at Sloan Kettering, and there's a lot of like a therapist that are willing to work with you and help you get through it, because it's just something that's so unexpected.
Yeah. Yeah. You and I had a conversation before the show, and you were talking about brain fog. Can you just talk to us a little bit about some of the side effects or some of the things you experienced when you were on chemo?
Oh, so chemo, my goodness. Okay. So with the chemo, after I had my double mastectomy and I got out of my dark place, I had met with an oncologist at Sloan Kettering in Comac. And prior to that, I had joined a breast cancer Facebook group, and they had mentioned this type of chemo called doxorubicin, and it wasn't a good type of chemo treatment. So when I met with my oncologist, of course, my husband was by my side throughout the whole thing. She's telling me, since my cancer was very we had to be aggressive with my treatment because there was just so much cancer. And she told me we were going to use this chemo called doxorubicin. And I'm like, oh no, my heart fell to my stomach. In the breast cancer world, that's also known as the red devil. Mm. And the treatment plan was to have dense dose chemo, which was I would have chemo every other week instead of like some women will have it like 8 weeks. And it's not as much chemo, but since they had to be aggressive with me, I had to go every other week. So with the Red Devil, I did that May and June. So I had gotten my port put in, and I remember the first day of chemo. Well, before I even did the chemo, they gave you like this pamphlet, like to read over, like all the side effects. Like some of the side effects were like you could go into heart failure. You can have permanent alopecia and just all these other things that were kind of scary. So I'm like, oh, okay. So then anyway, I go for my chemo treatment. I had gotten my port put in that morning, and then they wheeled me up to the chemo suite. So I go in, and the nurse is like, we're going to pre-medicate you before we actually start the chemo. So I'm like, okay. So they access my port, and they start pre-medicating me with stuff. And she's like, I'll be back in 10 minutes, and we'll start the chemo. So she comes back in 10 minutes, and she's wearing this like outfit. It wasn't like a hazmat outfit, but it kind of gave me that vibe. And I'm like, why are you wearing that? And she's like, oh, because the chemo can't touch my skin because it's really dangerous. And then I'm like, oh, and then she was holding this vial with a red liquid. And I'm like, well, what's that? And she's like, that's the chemo. And I'm like, oh, I thought the chemo goes through the IV. And she's like, no, we use a syringe and we have to like push it through your port because it has to go directly into my vein. Otherwise, it could affect like other parts of my body. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So that was just not very pleasant. And then when she started to administer it, after like maybe like 2 minutes, I started to smell and have this weird taste. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, oh, do you smell that? And she's like, no, only you're smelling it because it's going into my body. And then she's like, she told me to chew on some ice cubes because to prevent mouth sores and to prevent like my teeth from falling out. So I'm like, oh, great. So that was how the first half of my chemo went. The 3 other fusions after that weren't too bad because now I kind of, was I knew what was going to happen. I mean, the side effects were horrible. Like when I went home, I just had like, my husband had to give me medication like every few hours. And I just wasn't feeling well. I was always tired and I always felt nauseous. So anyway, I got through the Red Devil. So that was May and June. And then July and August, I was going to start Taxol. So Taxol is not supposed to be as strong as Red Devil. So with that one, I went for my first session for that. And again, the nurse was like, oh, we're going to pre-medicate you. And then with that one, I had to immerse my hands and my feet in bags of ice to prevent neuropathy. So that actually kind of hurt. And then again, she said she was going to, pre-medicate me. So she did. And then she came back and she's like, oh, I have to monitor you for 10 minutes. I'm like, oh, why? She's like, in case if you go into anaphylactic shock or if you have any any breathing issues or like any rashes. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh. So my eyes just started to tear up. And then the nurse was like, she's like, look at me. She's like, you're going to get through this. And I said, do you promise? And she said, yes. And I did. Yeah. So I was able to get through that because at Sloan Kettering, you always see people coming and going like this. Sometimes it's like ambulances there. And it's because of the chemo, because the chemo is just so strong.
Yeah.
But I did it. I did my Red Devil and I did the Taxol, and then also after the Taxol, they put like this pod on my arm. And then like after 4 hours, like once I'm home, after 4 hours, it releases some type of what's it called? Oh, it's called Neulasta. It's supposed to build up my white blood cells because at that point my immune system was just like shot. So then I had to do that with all my other medications. So I did that. And then after that was radiation. Radiation wasn't too bad. With that, they actually had to put 5 tattoos on my breast because it was a targeted radiation. So with that, they actually, it's interesting the way they do that because they had to measure the bed. It had to be a certain height and I had to be like lying a certain way. And then they taught me how to breathe because my cancer was close to my heart. They had to make sure that the radiation didn't like hit my heart. So that was a little stressful. But then like towards the end of that, I was very, very tired because they said that. And I was very burnt. I got burnt. I mean, they give you like a cream to put on it, but it's, I still got burned. Yeah. But, and then for my last radiation, I rang the bell.
Yes. Come on, Trisha, you rang the bell. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Everybody heard that now. We actually had to ring it outside because I had so many family and friends. So I rang the bell. And then I'm thinking, oh, that's it. I did my chemo, I did my radiation. So I go back, I meet with my oncologist and she's like, we want to do like a trial with you. And I'm like, oh. So the trial is like, it's this medication called Verzenio. That with, I'm also taking letrozole. I'm actually still on the letrozole, but I finished the Verzenio. And the Verzenio, that's actually a new type of treatment. It's a CDK inhibitor. And what it does, it disrupts the cancer cells from forming protein. So by doing that, cancer cells can't really thrive in your body. And then the letrozole that I'm still taking, that reduces my estrogen in my body because my cancer was fed by estrogen. I also had my ovaries removed as well to get rid of like any estrogen in my body. So I'm still on that. And then I'm also doing 2 infusions. But the Verzenio, I actually just stopped the Verzenio this January. I stopped that. And that had its own like side effects as well. Like I had like a lot of like almost like I had the fatigue, I had like IBS issues, I felt nauseous, I was so tired. But yeah, I got through that too. So I'm still kind of like doing the hormone treatment, but it's just amazing like how much treatment they have nowadays for breast cancer.
Yeah. Trisha, I gotta say, I've run 9 marathons, I've done like 22 Spartan races, and I've done a whole bunch of stuff, but I've never beat cancer. Not once. And you did it. Yeah, that's bigger than anything I've done in my entire life. And I gotta just say again, kudos to you for sharing and for getting through and for listening to your body, and for ringing that bell. It's so funny. We've always watched people on Instagram, social media when they ring that bell, even online when they ring that bell. It's like a really amazing thing. I've never had a chance to experience that except for my father. My father had a heart transplant, literally earlier this year, and seeing him come out of that was huge.
Yeah.
But even that, I think, compared to beating cancer, cancer is that's wild. So just kudos to you for that. It's really, really amazing. And I kind of want to segue to Jess and Jabari because I know you guys have been sitting here probably teary-eyed like me, just kind of listening to Trisha's story and trying to understand how intense her experience was. But I know both of you have done a number of things in the community in terms of back to school events and Jabari with cultural events that were happening with 5K races earlier this year. And both of you are really involved in being a part of the community and supporting those in the community. So before we talk about what you're doing for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I kind of want just to know, why is giving back to community so important to you? And Jess, I'll start with you first. Why take the time? Yes, you do office manager stuff, and that's great, but you take time out of your own time to do a lot of the community work, from drives for the community to now this breast cancer awareness fundraiser we're going to be doing. So, why, for one, do you take the time to do that?
So I take the time to do this because I feel like it's important to give back. I really want to have everyone know, like, my office is here. And yes, we do these amazing things when we treat our patients, but it goes beyond that scope. And a lot of these patients that we do see, they live in our communities, they work in our communities. So just acknowledging that, there are needs that exist, like, budget cuts with the DOE. And, we supported that end with the school drive. And we got so many contributions from organizations and local politicians like the Assemblywomen and men, as well as the Councilwoman and State Senator. Again, just acknowledging that when we ask for things, I feel like there's always that thing like, oh, maybe they won't give to us. But I feel like, once we honor that it's for a certain cause and it's for certain things, we might expect a good turnout. And I really just wanted to show my son that giving back is important. And I do this for him. I do this for a little girl as well. I want them to see, like, this is something that you guys should carry on as well. Always give back, even when, you're blessed in certain ways, and you can bless others as well. And I think that's why it's important that I did the back to school drive. And we were very successful with it. And this is why I want to do this fundraiser as well, because there's a lot of people that we treat that face these things like Trisha was going through, that we don't know their struggles. We don't know, what other pre-existing conditions they may have. So at least letting them know that we are in support of what they're going through, I feel like goes a long way. And that's why I feel like it's important to take the time out of what we do on a daily basis to give back and make sure that everyone feels acknowledged and important in their own communities.
Awesome. Now, Jesse, I see a flyer on your desk, and those who are listening can't see it, but what's this flyer about? What's happening at IHOP on the 19th?
So on the 19th, everyone is invited. We are doing a food-filling fundraising event where the proceeds will be going to the American Cancer Society in relation to the Making Strides Against Breast Cancer walk that's taking place on the 26th. We want everyone to join us. So we have shared it with all of our offices. So we do expect therapists to be there, staff, but we also want our patients to engage in this. I also sent personal invitations to those sponsors that were able to help me during my back to school drive. So hopefully we get a huge turnout with them, where we do see the local politicians within our area, and state senator as well. So 20% of the proceeds will be going to them. You can dine in and you can place your to-go orders. If you do to-go orders, you just have to make sure you pay at IHOP. The address is 2951 Avenue U in Brooklyn, New York, 11229. There's parking, there's transportation available with the buses and trains. And it's really easy if you guys take a picture of it. I have shared it on all like my social media outlets. You can just present this to them and then they'll know that it's going to the cause. But yes, that is what my fundraising is about. And I hope I get to see all of you there. And we get to have a good time. Bring your family, bring your relatives, bring your friends, because you'll never know who you're going to meet. And you might network and make good connections with other people that are in the community as well.
Absolutely. And Jess, I got to commend you. You know, this is a very innovative way of fundraising, right? You think about fundraising as, oh, I'll just give money and I'll keep moving. But I like to eat. And it's nice to be able to give money towards a good cause and be able to fill my belly as a result as well. So I want to commend you and the team for putting this together. We're going to definitely put that flyer along with the show notes and the show advertisement so people can go on there and know where to go on the 19th. But looking forward to being a part of that as well. And I want to just say thank you and kudos to you and your team for putting this out there. It's a great, great way for us to support Trisha and others who are going through the fight when it comes to breast cancer. So thank you so much. I gotta go down to my guy Jabarri. Now, Jabarri, I've been watching you do a number of things. You kind of hit the ground running when you came, when you graduated, passed the board exam, and said, you know what, let me just get right to business. And you contacted me. I remember you contacted me early, and you were like, I know you do a lot of community stuff. You know, I want to get in here. What can I start doing? And from connecting with local 5K organizations to being a part of our fabric when it comes to community work, you have hit the ground running and have not stopped. And I just want to say thank you so much for all the work that you do. And you've been one of the ones who have been spearheading the move for us to do the breast cancer walk. So talk to us about what's happening at the end of this month as we celebrate Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
So on the 26th of October, 8 p.m. at Coney Island, we're going to have the Breast Cancer Walk, where we're going to be, part sponsorship with the American Cancer Society. I wanted to include as much JAG offices in the region as possible, just so, if patients know that we are here and we offer the service to the community. That's basically it.
Now, is it just for JAG employees? Can people who are not JAG employees also join and be a part of the team?
It is open to everybody and anybody who is willing to be there. And it's not even just to walk. You could come tell your story, come grab a t-shirt. If you know somebody who is suffering from breast cancer or who needs some type of intervention, whether it be physical therapy or anything, you can come talk to us. We have many specialties in the 5 boroughs, as well as, New Jersey and Pennsylvania. I just want to let people know about it. Anybody is welcome.
Awesome. I'm going to also have that link in the show as well. Those want to be a part of it and join our team to be out there with us on that Sunday, the 26th of October. And Jabarri, I got to ask you, I asked you that same question about why. Because you're a PT like me, right? We have a lot of things to do when it comes to notes and taking care of patients and whatever else. So what on God's green earth makes you have this push to say, you know what, let me take some more time out of my life and give back to community in this way? What has inspired you to kind of want to do that?
Oh boy. All right. So my inspiration is my mother. Being that my mother's a nurse, and she's been a nurse for about 40 years, as long as I can remember. And I remember being young and her forcing me. I had to be like 8 years old, her forcing me every year in October, come let's do a breast cancer walk. Come let's do a breast cancer walk. I did it in high school because part of my high school curriculum, you had to volunteer. So every year I did a breast cancer walk. And I never understood their importance, but I understood that every October, at some point, I got to wear nice clothes because it's going to be cold and I'm going to be walking all day. And I hoped I got hot chocolate. But now that I've transitioned to this part of my career, I understand why she did that. It instilled it into me. Just being present for people going through sometimes a silent fight. Being a therapist now, you wouldn't believe how I'm halfway through a patient's plan of care and they find out they have breast cancer. And I have to change my plan of care in order to understand that that takes superiority over what's going on. Or I sometimes have to play not physical therapist, but mental therapist, letting patients talk about their fears, their worries, and sometimes being the other voice in their head saying that you're going to beat this. I've been fortunate to have one patient who beat breast cancer, and I've lost a patient recently to breast cancer. So, um, to me, this is just kind of picking up where my mother left off in my life, saying, okay, I have the opportunity to give back and in a way that I let people know that you will beat this. I have a young son myself, and I would love to bring him there because I want to create a tradition. So, just the same way my mother instilled the value of giving back in this way, I want to do that for my family
Mm.
and be a staple in my community. I grew up in this community of Brooklyn, and I couldn't tell you how seeing people who knew me as a child come to me for therapy and then, taking them through their needs and their ailments to then find out that sometimes they have they have breast cancer. I want them to know that I'm here for you the same way my mother was there for them.
Well said, sir. It's funny. It's really amazing that we have the three of you on the call right now because Jabari, you kind of hold two hats as being a former aide and now a PT. But from PT to aide to PAR, it really comes down to us as a team. As we bring patients into our rooms, into our clinics, into our families, we never know what they're going through. So when you see a script that says, lumpectomy or a history of cancer or whatever else, there's always a story like Trisha's or someone else like that behind that story. And we, all three of us, from A to PAR to PT, have a role to play in that experience for that patient to come in. And like Jabari said, sometimes it's PT hat, sometimes it's a friendly face at the front when they first come in. Sometimes it's the cheer and the hug that comes when someone shares that they had a bad or a rough chemo week or something like that. But that really goes into the entire experience of what therapy is. And I think we at JAG do a great job of tailoring our treatments and our experiences for others to get back to life that they love, but also recognizing that, yeah, cancer's a thing. Heart transplants are a thing. Death is a thing. And these are things that people are dealing with on a regular basis. While they're doing their 3 sets of 10 of whatever exercise they're doing, right? They're going through serious issues and serious trouble. So I want to commend you all for being a part of this great team and for being great for your patients. And my last question to each of you, and I'll have Trisha start, is what advice do you want to give to those who may be watching and maybe they're going through the fight themselves? Maybe they are the family members of someone who didn't make the fight through cancer or is going through the fight of cancer right now. What words of encouragement or motivation do you want to give to someone who's listening as we talk about, again, highlighting Breast Cancer Awareness Month? Trisha, I'll start with you first, and then we'll go to Jess, and then we'll close out with Jabari.
Yeah, so for the women who are about to embark on that journey, it sounds scary, and you're entitled to be in shock, to be depressed, to be sad. But you need to brush yourself off and then just be willing to fight because you have it in you to fight. I didn't think I had it in me to fight, but I did. And I had a lot of support from my family, from my husband, from my girls and friends and other family that were always there by my side for me. And I had my spirituality as well. Like during my chemo treatments, I would meditate and I would picture a warm white light coming down through my body and just healing. And I was just picturing the chemo killing any stray cancer cells that might be there. So just don't give up. Just keep fighting. And you could also think of it like as a healing journey, and there is light at the end of the tunnel. I had also listened to audiobook by, I don't know if you heard of Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. So it's very inspirational. He had said that one of his quotes is, everyone has a perfect life. It's your life situation and how you react to it. So like in my case with the cancer, like, yeah, I was depressed, but then I turned that around and I just started to just hold on to positive energy and just reiterate that I will get through this. And like my one doctor even told me, it's 90% attitude and 10% medicine, that you just got to kind of like be in that mindset that, yes, I will get through. I will get through this.
Mm.
And then just trust in it, trust in your doctors, and just have faith. Because even when it seems like there is no faith and no hope, you manage, you do, you pull through. I'm living proof of that. And with all this new, these new medications and these trials that they have now, they've come such a long way with breast cancer. That's why it is important to also donate to these causes as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Tricia, so much for sharing.
Mm-hmm.
Jess?
I just want to say we hear you, we see you, we're here, especially if you treat at one of our clinics. Just telling us your story. I feel like us at the front desk, me as an office manager, we're always here to listen. We're always at the forefront when you first come in. And we do understand what you're going through. And especially my office being a multi-specialty office, we deal with so many patients that go through other pre-existing conditions as well. But I just want to say that we are here to always listen to you, and we're going to do everything we can to try to fundraise and get awareness out. I can't tell you how many patients I've had tell my front desk, just letting them know what they've gone through has alleviated at least their pain for that specific day. And I feel like that's why we're here. That's why we're doing it. That's why we're taking the time out of our day to do it, to do what we're doing right now. So we really hope to have a great turnout, and hopefully it's put to good cause and support the New York area, also Jersey and PA. But we're here, and I can't wait to see you beat cancer when you do. I'm sure we're all going to cheer all of you on.
Awesome. And Jabarri?
What I want to say. On the days that are hard, just know that you have the support. When you're tired, when you feel as if that you can't get up, when you feel as if it's too much, just know that the support is there. And we try to make ourselves visible to those that need it. As a physical therapist, you ask yourself, how can you help me? Well, look, now I know there's the American Cancer Society. We have this event. We can put you in touch with people that can offer mental health services, help get you the treatment. Look, now I know that Memorial Sloan is top cancer treatment hospital in the city. So when you feel as if though you can't walk, we'll help you.
Awesome. Folks, you guys have made this show one for the books. Really appreciate each and every last one of you, Tricia, Jess, and Jabarri. Thank you guys so much for being on the show. And I will have you guys on again, maybe even next year, to talk about this amazing movement that we're trying to make sure that others can also fight cancer the same way Tricia fought it. For those who are going to be out there in the Brooklyn area, please, 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 you may have the dates. October 19th, IHOP, 5 to 9 p.m. We'll have the link and the flyer in the show notes for those of you who are in the New York area. And then the 26th of October, our breast cancer walk. If you want to join us, please join us for that special day as we join others around the world, around New York City, who will be coming together to make sure that they are a part of the movement to beat cancer. Our quote from today is simple again. It's about focusing on the fight and not the fright. Tricia said it best. She said it's 90% attitude and 10% medicine. That is the key. So get your mind right, get your body right. Let's make sure we're staying positive with this thing as we all continue to fight those who are fighting in the fight themselves and those who are with someone who may be also in that fight. We can do this. And at JAG Physical Therapy, just know that we support each and every last one of you to get back to life that you love, but also to fight the things that you are fighting, whether it's cancer, whether it's other things as well. We're here for you. So happy Breast Cancer Awareness Month for those who are out there struggling and fighting. Get through that fight. Keep fighting, focusing on the fight and not the fright. Don't be afraid. And we will see you next time on the Be Born Today show. All right? Take care, folks. Peace.